it. That's it. You're good. You can take it out of your mouth now. The bit's over. The bit's done. You don't have to do that anymore.
Welcome to the Thoughtcast, a powerful Magic podcast. I am your host, Ian.
And I'm your host, Lewis.
Today, we're going to talk about a little one-drop red monkey named Ragavan and how you're supposed to properly use the monkey.
I mean, kind of. I mean, yes, in any format in which you can play monkey an aggro deck. You probably should.
Oh yeah, what are we doing?
The title of this video is actually probably something along the lines of how do you play aggro, right? Because a lot of our videos that people really enjoy are the ones that talk about the basic yet niche things that people don't really get.
And this is going to be a 3-part series,
yeah,
I guess.
because there's a triangle of like what you can play, what things fall into. In the middle though, there's tempo. We're not going to talk about tempo because it's kind of like a hybrid of a bunch of different kinds of decks.
Like
but there's
mid-range and like whatever pile.
Well, mid-range is in between combo,
exactly.
or in between control and aggro.
It's like tempo, where it's like not on the end.
Well, basically, there's a couple Venn diagrams inside the triangle, but the triangle is aggro, combo, control, and we're gonna make an episode about each individual one. First today,
aggro. My personal favorite. I'm
Don't
gonna be
fucking
honest.
lie to me, bro. Your favorite is mid-range.
Mid-range is fun, but aggro?
You only play mid-range decks.
Yeah, because I can't like sit down and just play red.
That's why you're not. No, it's not your favorite.
No.
It's not your favorite if you can't just play red.
Boros aggro.
No.
It's beautiful.
Now, one of my favorite cards is Goblin Guide.
Yeah, whatever,
okay,
dude.
so if somebody
Whatever.
likes aggro, it's probably me. If liking mid-range is not a bad thing. Mid-range is one of the most. is one of the best.
Like mid-range.
You dirty freak. No. Mid-range is one of the best, constantly best archetypes. But when we talk about mid-range, we're probably going to have to talk about it a lot in both the control and the aggro episode because it's a hybrid, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes more in one direction, and sometimes it has Harry Styles. Okay, so either way. But when we talk about aggro, we're talking about the top of the curve being like a 4-drop is in your deck, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
And there's like maybe 10 3-drops, and then everything else, right?
Fury's in there. That's a 6-drop.
That's a free card. We're what is it? Highlander brain.
Yeah.
So let's not think about Fury. Let's think about bare bones what aggro is. What does it mean to you when somebody's like, okay, I'm playing aggro, you're shuffling up, what are you expecting?
Usually I'm either expecting like a curve of 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, kill you as fast as possible, or 1-drop on turn 1, 2 1-drops on turn 2, and then a 2 and a 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
And trying to get on board as fast as possible while dealing as much damage to you.
So I'm going to correct you.
Yeah.
Because aggro doesn't just mean the fastest. It means continuous. It means, basically, if you think about a Magic deck as a car, right? If you're racing, basically aggro is the NASCAR, right? It's just like, right? But imagine that NASCAR has only a little bit of fuel in its tank, right? It's gonna go, and it's gonna get to the finish line, or try to, or it's gonna run out of fuel.
It's gonna whiff,
right? Exactly. So there are other very fast decks, usually combo decks, that are not aggro, even if they're fast, which a lot of people confuse, especially in Commander. They think a deck wins on turn 3, it's an aggro deck. No, Thassa's Oracle is a combo card, not an aggro card. The difference is there's no disruption, and often the disruption is through pressure.
Yes.
Right? And that's what an aggro deck is.
Like, do I go for my combo or am I gonna die?
Yeah,
first?
right? Yeah. Aggro is not just speed, it is pressure above everything else. You need pressure. A game can go on 5, 6, 7 turns when you're playing an aggro deck, and you win it because you've constantly applied pressure through every turn. That's an aggro deck.
And the only problem with aggro is that has a little bit of gas.
They lose to card advantage a lot of the time, right?
And you can tell when they run out of gas because they're just...
Yeah, absolutely. And card advantage in an aggro deck sometimes, usually, almost always means cards in hand, but it can also mean getting a bang for your buck with your individual cards.
Yeah.
For instance, Goblin Guide gives you card advantage in the way that it deals 6 damage by turn 3, right?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, right? So basically, even though it gives your opponent's cards, the downside for you is that it gives your opponent's lands if it's on top of their deck. Sometimes you don't even give them anything, right?
It's beautiful.
But quintessential aggro card, it's a 1-mana 2/2 with haste. It was the best card at its time when it was printed. It was insane, right? You just Play-Doh 2/2, and then you attacked with it.
It's beautiful.
They might draw a card, and they might not. It's great. Basically, that card then dies to lightning bolt, shock, whatever. And that 1-for-1's fine, but what really kills aggro decks, what really does is 3 and 4-for-1s.
Yeah.
Board wipes.
Oh my god.
Okay?
Board wipes.
Yeah, and aggro usually means creature-based. There are not many aggro decks that are not creature-based.
There's a couple, like, I'd consider Burn aggro.
Burn is an aggro deck.
But I don't even know if...
Yeah, because Lightning Bolt deals 3 damage for 1, and Goblin Guide could deal 6, but could die to removal. That's the difference, right? That's why when people think aggro in Modern, for instance, they think of Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix, they think about Burn, and then in Standard, they'll think about Prowess, right?
Pre-Corey Seals. Right now, Mono Red's actually kind of a hate list versus, like, its usual aggressive
It wasn't
list.
a meta list. Yeah. Now it's more of like a Blood and Taxes list. But, for instance, there's another aggro deck, Death and Taxes.
Yes.
That is usually considered an aggro deck because it gets its pressure through letting you not be able to cast spells, right? Through taxation effects, through tapping your creatures when they enter. That's pressure. In one way or another, that entering tapped or taxing the spell is pressure because you can't catch up with them, right? You're in your little sedan, your gas tank's full, but then they're throwing darts into your gas tank, you know, and you're like, oh shit, you know.
Suddenly that 1 mana spell in your hand is 4 mana.
Or two, or even 2. Or even 2 mana, right? Thalia, Guardian of Thraben is absurdly powerful. One of the quintessential aggro cards, right? It might not be that big for its stats, but 1, it's got first strike, and 2, your opponent's spells and yours sometimes cost a little more. But you're usually ready for that.
Now, like, what are the different kinds of aggro strategies? Because my favorite kind is a token aggro strategy. Because you get to lean more into an aristocrat's game plan.
Aristocrats, by the way, it's like its own thing. Like it's kind of mid-range, and it's kind of combo, and it's kind of control, and sometimes it's aggro. It's like the weirdest little thing of all time. But like, I would say that token strategies just fall into, there's like 3 types of aggro strategies for me. There's creature board-based strategies. There's non-creature spell-based strategies, like an Is It Tempo deck, or
is it Phoenix? Is it Prowess?
Is it Blitz, for instance? In older formats where you have like a Prowess creature and then you like Berserk it. You know what I mean? Like something like that, or Temur Battle Rage, I guess, if it's just but like there's instant-based, which are still kind of creature-based, but they're almost a combo deck, even.
Yeah, they're just trying to kill you on 1 or 2 turns.
Yeah, with 2 creatures attacking, they get really big, right?
Yeah.
That's an aggro deck. Yeah. Right. Then there's creature-based like Goblin Guide into a 2 mana 2/2 with haste.
MT Seneschal of the Sun?
Absolutely. Then there's the last one is, hold on.
Burn?
Yes, there's Burn.
Burn, Prowess, and...
Not even just Burn, but using spells to directly take your opponent's life total to 0 at any speed possible, right? Like, we're not talking Tendrils of Agony, we're talking Lightning Bolt, or...
Lightning Bolt, Bolt Weave, Flage...
Bolt, and then a Suspend Rift Bolt, you know? That's an aggro deck. But then there's the real question. Most people can identify an aggro deck, right? It's not just that you died out of nowhere, you saw it coming on turn 1.
You're like, they played a mountain?
Now, the real question that I get most, because I play a lot of aggro decks, is how do you play aggro? And if somebody asks me this question, I instantly respect them as a person. Because a lot of people think aggro is the dumbest, easiest way to play Magic, and they're so unbelievably wrong.
At face value, it seems that way. Sure. But the more that you play aggressive strategies...
You realize how bad you are at the game.
Like, why did I do that?
Well, how did I lose? I had everything. Yeah, and it's really easy to lose with aggro. It might be the easiest game of your life to lose, you know? God. Because you'll play your 2-drops, and then they'll just be like, Pyroclasm. Oh! You know, like that's how you know you're not playing an aggro deck, because you're not playing Pyroclasm, you know? The cards you're not playing often decide what deck you're playing, right? Like, for instance, if you're playing Grove Monsters, you're not going to play Brotherhood's End because it's an aggro deck, okay? That's one of the prevalent aggro decks in Canadian Highlander. It won our tournament because that deck's insane, but it's also a harder deck to play. For instance, in one of our games, I killed Ian on turn 3? Turn 3 or something?
Or I was dead by turn 4.
It was something like that, right? But it had to do with the order of the cards that I played, right? I played this 3-drop Saga first because it applies less pressure early, but once it gets to its 3rd chapter, it deals like 8 damage overall with the creatures it makes. And that's pretty crazy.
It's pretty good.
Right? So the order in which you play your cards, when you play your cards, and how you play your cards is literally, it's more important in aggro than anything else. In combo, you can just flail around for a little bit until you get your combo pieces and then you win.
It's kind of hilarious how you can kind of tell when your opponent has the Pyroclasm, the Brotherhoods, and the board wipe.
Because they're not playing creatures. Yeah.
And then you just have your little 2/1 Ragavan and you just start swinging and you don't even play the rest of your cards because you know they have it.
That's true.
And eventually they're just going to have to board wipe your one
That's
creature.
The funniest thing. Ragavan is the funniest card in Magic ever. You can play him in any of the decks.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. You play him in combo because he makes mana. You play it in control because he applies pressure early and blocks creatures. And you play him in aggro, obviously.
Yeah,
because
it's crazy. I feel like Ragavan is not the face of aggro, but when most people think of aggressive cards,
I hate that you're kind of right. I would say that the face of aggro for me personally is Goblin Guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like a downside creature that's really fast.
My personal favorite is a newly printed card, Screaming Nemesis.
Yeah, Screaming Nemesis is sick.
So good.
It's basically a finisher.
Yeah.
Right, for aggro. You play a Screaming Nemesis sometimes on turn 3, but sometimes you sandbag it for that alpha strike that they basically now can't block.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go forward with a couple of things you think a lot of people don't know about aggro. Okay, I don't like this.
How fucking cool you are if you play it.
Okay, no. The first thing that I think a lot of people, even you, are guilty of this is that curves. Curves are so weird in aggro decks. Oftentimes, your curve kind of looks like one of those graphs where one single section is just like so much bigger than the rest.
It's like
right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And there's nothing. Like it's kind of insane. Usually it's about two drops are central, and in most aggro decks it's 2 drops, but a lot of them are 1 drops. Like a lot of aggro decks, for instance, mono black aggro is just full of 1 drops because you have a lot of incidental card draw, so that you could just play more 1 drops. Right?
And a lot of them come back from the graveyard.
So where a curve often matters the most is in a mid-range strategy. Okay, that's where your curve is usually pretty central, 2 and 3 are about even, and then you go down like this, right? In aggro, it's usually, here's all of your cards and a couple other of them down here. So
usually your 3-drop better win the game or kill your opponent really good.
Yeah, your 3-drops have to either do something extremely powerful on their own before they die, or if they stick around, you won. Like Screaming Nemesis, if it attacks more than once, you're probably winning that game, right? And if you have Rampaging Ferocodon stick around for a while, your opponents can't gain life.
I know,
it's really good.
It's crazy the good 4-drops. Questing Beast, Rampaging Ferocodon.
Yes. No. Rampaging Ferocodon is a 3-mana 3/3 with haste. Or with Menace that says your opponent can't gain life.
Which one's the 4-cost?
That one's Rampaging Raptors.
There we go.
Yeah. So, or something like that. It's basically Questing Beast, but sometimes better. I killed you with it last time we played Magic. Basically, if you're looking to build an aggro deck, the often first place people go is to the curve, right? That's where most people go when they build decks or whatever. When I build an aggro deck, it's usually you kind of have to think about it like a little goblin. You have to be like, so what cards do I want to play? Which one? Ooh, Ragavan, Carnifage. Okay, now you're in Rakdos aggro, okay? That's the weirdest part about aggro decks. They're all kind of the same. Like they all have the same philosophy that says your opponent's at 20 life. Bring it to 0.
Bring it down.
Bring it to 0 as fast as you can. Not only as fast as you can, as efficiently as you can, without them being able to stop you. Okay? Questing Beast is great, right? It's got haste. It can't be blocked very easily. It also kills Planeswalkers, which are the literal bane of aggro.
God,
if your opponent resolves 3 fairy,
Liliana the Veil, pick it up!
Well, Liliana the Veil is an easy one to beat in aggro because oftentimes you have like 3 creatures. Usually you have like 3 creatures, right? Yeah. So, and if you're discarding cards, if your opponent's discarding cards, hey, a lot of aggro decks used to play Liliana. Okay,
Bristlebrand Reanimate.
But like, aggro is so weird in the deck building process because you start with the cards you like, man. That's the best part.
Now, I know this isn't a Commander-specific podcast.
Yes, but we can talk about it.
But we gotta talk about aggro and Commander.
We can talk about
everyone says it sucks. And I think...
Slicer! Alexios!
They're just bad at building decks.
Well, okay, so let me take you down memory lane real quick. I started playing Commander maybe before some people watching this were born. I don't know how old you guys are.
I hope not.
Yeah, well, I mean, 13 years ago, you know, it was when I started playing it.
I hope not.
Yeah, we don't like kids, sorry.
No, sorry.
Whoa. But no, I started playing 13 years ago, and ever since, you can't really play. For a long time, you couldn't play an aggro strategy. Yeah. You have 120 life to whittle down. Mm-hmm. That's 100 more than usual, right? Yep. And sure, your other opponents are doing stuff, but slowly over time, they started releasing cards that put pressure on your opponents on their turns.
Yeah.
The first was Slicer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, I was like, this is it. I'm building this. This is going to be an aggro deck.
Beautiful.
And it was the fastest deck in the format for a while.
And then they took Jeweled Lotus from us.
It's not even that. What happened is that Slicer stopped being good because people realized that you could just remove him twice and then that was it. Basically what he did is he made people play more interaction for like a month and a half and then people stopped playing him forever. Mm-hmm. But Alexios kind of has the same problem, but he's just a better slicer. People think he's not because he doesn't attack on your first turn. Mm-hmm. But he's an 8/8 by the time he gets back to you after turn 1. And then he's a 12. Your opponent's dead.
Yeah.
Your opponents are dead, right? So if you don't know what these cards do, basically they attack on your opponent's turn and they can't attack you, right?
Your opponents gain control of them. Yeah.
Your opponents gain control of it. They get to hit people. But those are the best strategies. Yeah. How do you build an aggro deck with, per se, Varchild? That's one of the ones I tried to build a while ago. You don't know Varchild?
No.
She's a 3-mana 3/3 from Commander, the set with Dockside. Yeah. She's a 3/3. She might have Menace, I think.
She's got a keyword?
She has a keyword. And when she hits an opponent, they get 3 1/1s that can't attack you. Okay? They're like 1/1 survivor tokens. Okay?
Okay.
That when you hit somebody, they get those tokens, and I'm pretty sure they can't attack you, and then when she dies, you gain control of all survivors. Okay? That's the first ever actual literal aggro deck I tried to build, because what it does is it incentivizes your opponents to beat the shit out of each other. Yeah. Right? You give them their guys, you hit them for a couple damage, you make Varchild huge sometimes, you have some equipment, and then you start bashing around. That's a classic Commander aggro strategy, because what you have to do in Commander for aggro is leverage your opponent's actions and make them go against them. Another aggro deck I made, a deck I kind of resent now, is 1 mana 2/1 Coward.
Cowards can't block warriors.
No. What's his name? 2/1 human coward or something, or human warrior.
Norin the Wary.
Norin the Wary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he when an opponent casts a spell or attacks, he enters. Right. That deck was called Firestorm or something like that. I was big into DC at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was basically just whenever your opponent made an action, they would take damage for it. Every single one of those cards that said like when they search, when they sacrifice an artifact, whatever. When Norin enters, you have a bunch of things that deal damage from the casting spells, yada yada. That's also kind of an aggro strategy, but it's more of like a Staxy strategy. So where do you draw the line? You know, what cards do you put in your deck? It's more of like the idea, you know?
The aggro in Commander is an idea. Yeah. Like, my most aggressive deck is Caesar.
Yeah.
Right?
I call that an aggro deck.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not necessarily the fastest, but it does apply constant pressure.
Yes, because all of a sudden you're getting one Goblin Rabble Master out, and
I wouldn't even say it's the Goblin Rabble Masters for me. It's like the Aristocrats effects paired with you making like 5 tokens.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So if they hit you, take damage. If they die, you take damage. When they enter, you take damage. Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's just a constant threat all the time. Yeah. And I used to run more removal in the deck, but I found you don't want to be wiping the board. You don't want to be removing all the permanents.
Yeah, you don't want to be the reactor in this game. You want to be the one that people have to react to.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, sure, you need in aggro decks in Commander, you want a scalpel rather than a giant sword, because you only want to be able to remove the thing that's a problem for you.
No, I disagree.
Really?
So in an aggro deck, you neither want the scalpel nor the hammer. You want the greatsword. You want the thing that you can aim with, but it's mostly just going to do a lot of fucking damage. So for instance, like in the Caesar deck, he isn't a scalpel, nor is he a hammer. He's more just like he's a big sword.
He's a big
he
sword,
makes your little guys, and then he can deal damage or draw you a card, but more importantly, he's hitting your opponents for a lot of damage. That's how an aggro deck works, you know?
In terms of removal, like your removal suite, like you don't need fucking
like in an
Blasphemous
aggro deck,
Act. You don't need Wrath of God. You don't need any of those.
You don't need anything sometimes. Like oftentimes you just need like
there's gonna be a problem creature every now and again. Like
yeah. I would say you don't need creature removal in an aggro deck oftentimes because oftentimes you're the one with all the problematic creatures. Sometimes you just need like things that are like a coverall, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like a Get Lost or...
Yeah. Something that destroys a lot of different kinds of permanents one time is fine. Because like if they have the big creature, great, you can get rid of it. But then if they have like an omniscience, you know what I mean? Like you need to be able... You need to be able to answer it. But oftentimes your goal is not to be able to answer things. It's to kill them before they get to that point.
Yes.
Okay, and that's... Hey guys, if you're a commander player and you die quick to an aggro deck, that's not a bad thing, okay? They just played well, they made their deck well, and you didn't do it as well in that game or maybe in deck building. It's not... Aggro decks are frowned upon in Commander.
I know, and it's crazy. Like, because if you target the combo player... They're like, why are you targeting me? Yeah. I'm like, no, you're going to get your combo off and win the game. Of course I'm going to target you.
For 5 on turn 4, and they're like, ah!
I know.
Ah! And then they cast like a 15/15 next turn, and it's like...
It was like, of course I attacked you.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to do that.
I turned him into this, by the way. I finally brought him around to my side of I hate Commander players most of the time.
I don't hate people. I don't get paid enough to hate people.
That's true. Give us $100 and we'll hate people. For you.
How do you beat aggro?
Oh, easily. You just kill them. You kill their...
Yeah. Whoa. Welcome to Magic the Gathering, baby. You just put your opponent's life total at 0.
He just said the stupidest shit off camera. And I had a whole train of thought, and I was like, yeah, there's this thing I want to say. And now he's like, hey, we need to do the show. Oh, how do you beat aggro? That's what you're asking me right now?
Yeah, how do you beat aggro?
Okay, yeah, Pyroclasm. Anyway.
Pyroclasm, Brotherhood's End. Get rid of their board, get rid of their presence, get rid of their pressure.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, if you're playing against the burn strategy, you just gotta wait it out. You just gotta put in the disruption where you got it, and win at 3 life. Like, that's where it is. But if it's the creature-based ones, then yeah, the way you win is pretty simple. You board wipe, but the really good aggro players will hold back.
Yes.
You know, they won't put too much into their basket, okay? They'll keep their eggs out of the basket for a little bit, and then once you wipe the board, they'll throw the rest of them in, right?
Another way to beat aggro is sometimes
Don't be an idiot, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, don't be an idiot. And sometimes you just gotta make them have it, because they don't have it. Sure, you can...
I mean, there's many times I've played against aggro decks where it's like, I wouldn't say I'm a competent player, but sometimes I can be, and my opponent is as well, and it's a coin toss. Like,
it really is.
It's basically just like, are they going to draw gas, or are they going to draw a basic land where it really matters for me, you know?
I'm at 1, they're empty-handed, is Lightning Bolt on the top of their deck.
Yeah, exactly, right? And you're just waiting and waiting until it is. And oftentimes when it's against the burn decks, if you're not playing blue,
you're kind of SOL.
It's not that you're
SOL. Life gain kind of.
Again, if you're not playing blue, it's gonna be hard to outrace them.
Yeah.
So you really just have to like kind of pray to God. I don't know. Like if they've got 2 mountains and 5 lightning bolts in their hand.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
What are you gonna do when your opponent has 5 copies of Lightning Bolt and then a Black Lotus?
I mean, like, I mean that like Rift Bolt, Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
The one that deals 3 damage to each opponent from Foundations.
Bolt Weave,
Like, there's a bunch of these cards, okay? And if they're just doing that, you're either playing blue, got a little life gain in your deck. You're playing that Bats deck in Standard, right?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Or you just gotta pray to God. Like that's the craziest thing about aggro matchups is sometimes you just gotta hope, or you're dead.
And like, if you pressure those burn, if you get creatures on board,
sometimes they have to use removal.
They have to use removal.
The good players don't.
Yeah, they just take it.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, I'll take the damage anyways. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. You know, like it's like there's stacking 10s on the table, and you're just like, well, guess I'll take this payout and leave. You know? It's really not as uncomplicated though as we're making it sound.
No.
The decision points for a good aggro player, like if you watch Grand Prix or what are they called now? Magic Fests?
RCQs?
Not RCQs. I'm talking about like the Pro Tour level.
Magic.
You know,
I think they just do it at Magic Cons now. I'm not even sure.
I think it's just Magic Cons. But like when you see people playing aggro, oftentimes the gap between people playing it at your LGS and the people playing it at the tournament level are not extremely noticeable to the naked, untrained eye, but to the people who really know what to look for, they will make maybe one or two different decisions than an actual casual player, and that will make them win 3 turns earlier. That's how crazy different the gap is between the aggro players at different intervals. Okay, for instance, even in Commander, right? The good aggro players will kill you 4 whole turns before your opponents ever even got to realize that they were going to die. Now, I'm not talking Thassa's Oracle. I'm not talking Underworld Breach. I'm talking 15 creatures on the board with 4 or more power.
Yeah, how the hell did they get there is what you're going to be asking.
Yeah, well, I mean, you saw it happen, and you tried to stop them, and you couldn't because they were too good, right? They were too ready, prepared, and played around your board wipe or your Brotherhood's End.
Not gonna lie, one of my favorite things about competitive Magic is seeing like the mono red sideboards.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so interesting.
There's a very famous game win from I forget who it was. It might be Kai Buddha. It was somebody. Okay, it was somebody from way back in the day where Red Deck wins first popped up. You know, it was Jackal Pups. But more importantly, it was Fire Blast. And if you don't know what Fire Blast is...
First of all, rest in peace, Jackal Pups.
You can still play it in Highlander. If you're playing just all the 1-drops, right?
Yeah,
but
continue.
but like there was... Fire Blast was like the quintessential red card. You know? For 2 mountains, sacrificing them, you could deal 4 damage to your opponent.
What?
That's such a good deal.
That's pretty good.
It still is pretty good. A free, almost Lava Axe is still an amount of Lava Axe, right? Lava Axe is one of my favorite Magic cards, by the way.
It's great.
It's not a good card. It's not at all even a good card, but I love that thing, right? I hate when he says, it's great.
You
Use a different word.
No, you know it's a great card when people are playing it, even though it's, like, objectively terrible.
I've only ever played it in Limited. Or in Cube. Cube's awesome.
Cube is awesome.
Anyways, Fire Blast was the first ever card to win I'm pretty sure the Pro Tour for a mono red deck.
Really?
He just slammed down this Fire Blast and bam! Oh, he had it! Oh,
he had it!
Fire Blast to win the game!
Get the camera!
And that single moment in history is aggro, right? He played around everything perfectly to throw 2 mountains at his opponent in the end, right? And that's how you can look at it through the lens of what makes a good aggro player, right? It's how do they abuse their resources?
Yes.
You know?
Oh my god.
Oftentimes, you'll see somebody end up, you're at your local game store. You're playing Commander, and somebody walks up to the table, they're like, who's winning? Man, shut up! What do you mean who's winning?
It's turn 2, and nobody has Thassa's Oracle in their
that guy's
deck.
at 36 life, he's losing. Oh my god, you're so funny. You're so original. Oh my god, I love you. You know, like, what do you want from people, man?
Usually who's winning has more cards in hand. Usually.
It's not even that, man. It's like board presence. And it's like, it's like 50 different intervals, so stop fucking asking people, man.
Did you put enough lands in your deck?
But I genuinely that question of like, hey, who's winning this game? Dude, shut up. Like, you can say anything. My favorite one, if I know somebody, like they're a good friend, I'll just walk up and take the top card of their deck and look at it and put it back down so they don't see it, have no expression change, and then just walk away.
It's so annoying.
Like, while I'm surveying the board and everything, I'll just look and be like, and I'm not doing anything illegal, man, because if it's sanctioned, I won't do that. If there's prizes, I won't do that. But it's still, like, you can do anything else, but if it's I remember, I think it was last Friday, I was sitting at the Commander table, and somebody walked up and was like, hey, who's winning? It's turn 1. I don't know, man.
You just spent 2 hours playing the CEDH game. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I don't. It doesn't really matter who's winning. Somebody else could be winning soon too, and it was one of the newer players. People who've been playing only for a year.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
But those people never get it.
God bless their souls.
God bless them. They never get it.
Oh, bless your heart.
They would see somebody play aggro and be like, well, that's really easy.
I mean, I guess.
One of my favorite aggro stories. Okay, this was all B1. Okay.
Yeah.
The draft formats of all B1. The aggro mania, basically.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't playing aggro, probably lost. My favorite ever aggro strategy I did in that was I drafted the red-white equipment strategy, right? and I played 0 removal spells. I only played equipment that made creatures and creatures.
Yeah.
Went 3-0, 2-0 every game.
Because sometimes that's all you need.
Well, it's not that that's all you need. The reason I made that decision is because I knew every single person there was going to be running removal.
Yeah.
And if they use their time and mana and resources to play removal and I'm not, I'm just going to win because I have 4 or 5 creatures on the board by turn 3. So like,
and that's another way that aggro can win. They can essentially, because you're getting an equipment and a creature, and the equipment really usually stays on board.
Usually, like the entire reason that deck would win is through the pseudo card advantage of that, and also just time. Right? They're putting all this time into removing things either on my turn or theirs, not to apply pressure to the board when I already have pressure on the board, therefore getting to attack my creatures that they were able to remove, even though they're the worst creatures. And that is, in a nutshell, crack it open, that's what an aggro deck is.
That's a pecan right there.
That's a walnut, You just need to leverage every single ounce that you can. And if you know how to leverage your strategy as an aggro deck, better than...
solid, bro. Make them have it.
That's true.
Make them have it.
Yeah, that's how he beats me.
If they don't have it, you're winning.
It's true.
Make them have it.
But then, the worst blowouts I've ever seen him have is where he makes it. He's like, make him have it, and then he just loses the next turn.
I'm sitting there like, yeah, you don't have the...
3. Yeah, it's like, I remember one time he was playing against, I don't know, some mono red player. It was like, make him have it, and he just slams a Screaming Nemesis into another haste creature on the same turn, and you die.
No. It was my friend T.
Yeah.
He went like Screaming Nemesis, and I was at like 3 or something.
To like look at the top 5 and you're like, yeah, you don't have it, and then you just top deck.
Yeah, I was so mad. I was so mad.
So making him have it is a good strategy sometimes. You're still gonna lose to aggro. That's the coolest part about aggro.
Yeah.
You'll just lose. Even if you play the game completely correct, you're dead.
And then you can just go to game 2 and you're fine.
And then when you lose that one, go get coffee for the next round. Yeah. It's the best. So that is our episode on aggro. Thank you so much for watching. We'll hope to see you in the next one. We'll talk about control. I'll also probably be yapping.
No, we're doing it alphabetically, right?
Did it taste good?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. You know how you can tell it's real too? It's blue. It's got blue ink.
Did it actually taste like good?
Why would it taste good?
Well, they said it in the rules. Don't eat them. Even though the magic cards are delicious, you can't eat them. It says that in the rules.
You can't eat them?
It says you can't.
Fuck you, Mark Rosewater.
Yeah!
People being idiots.
Commander
sucks. Play Canadian Highlander. That's we hit all 3 requirements for a Magic video.